So Fletch, how do you assess that performance?
I thought it was a good performance. I thought we deserved to win the game. I think, listen, it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought the boys put in a performance with the shots and the chances we created that should have been 3 points. Unfortunately, deflected goal and then a really good equaliser, and we've managed to only get a point, so that's really disappointing because I thought the efforts that the lads put in and the chances we created, we did more than enough to win the game.
Manchester United fans, please, in this video I am not taking sides here at all. I am not defending any coach, and I am not attacking any coach either. I am simply speaking the truth as it is, and that is what I always do. It is very clear, and anyone who is being honest with themselves can see it clearly, that the real problem at Manchester United is not the coach, it is not formations or systems. The problem did not even start today either. The problem is the board and the owners. We are right inside a January transfer window, a period that is supposed to help teams fix problems, strengthen weak areas, and compete better, yet this board is not ready to sign even one player. Instead of addressing the real issues, the moment someone stood up and spoke the truth, they sacked him. Now they want to distract us as fans, confuse us emotionally, and try to calm the noise by bringing in a new coach to play a back four, and some fans will instantly be happy, thinking that this alone is the solution. But let me be very clear, that is not the solution, not even close. Look at Manchester City, our neighbours. They drop points in just 3 games and boom, immediately they go out and sign Semenyo. No drama, no excuses, no long stories about lack of money. That is how a serious club with working owners behaves. And the painful thing is, we are playing them next in the Premier League. Ask yourself honestly, do you think all the Premier League titles they have won back-to-back were by coincidence? Of course not. Do you think Pep Guardiola, as good as he is, would still be winning all these trophies if the board did not back him fully with the right players at the right time? The answer is simple, no. Even the best coach in the world cannot succeed without support from above. That is the reality. Until this club fixes the problem at the top, we will keep changing coaches, changing formations, and blaming managers, while the real issue remains untouched. Now let's talk about yesterday's game, but please kindly give a like to this video and subscribe to my channel for more raw, honest truth about Manchester United, because that is all we do here. First of all, let me make this very clear so nobody misunderstands me, I am not discrediting the performance at all. The players played well, there was effort, there was intensity, and there were positive moments. But there is a very big question that we all need to ask ourselves honestly. What exactly did we do differently playing with a back four? The way some people are shouting about this back four, you would think Manchester United were winning league titles with it before Amorim arrived, which is simply not true. Yes, we created a lot of chances in that game, but let us not rewrite history. We have been creating chances under Ruben Amorim as well. In fact, statistically, we have created more chances in the Premier League this season under Amorim, and the numbers are there for anyone who wants to be honest. If anyone is now saying that it was suddenly Fletcher who made us start creating all these chances, then I know we are no longer being objective, we are just being sentimental. This team did not suddenly learn how to attack overnight. The truth is very simple. A lot of the chances we created in that game were still a result of the work Amorim had already done. That foundation did not disappear. Fletcher has only had maybe 1 or 2 training sessions at most. Some fans are already rushing to say it was all his work, which does not add up logically. We have trained with a back four under Amorim. We have played with a back four under Amorim. It is just that many people chose not to see it or acknowledge it at the time, and the way we attacked was not totally different from how we attacked under Amorim. Now many fans kept saying it was the formation Ruben Amorim was using that made us concede so many goals in the Premier League. That was part of the agenda. Now we just played with a back four, the formation everyone has been crying for, and what happened? We still conceded 2 goals against Burnley. This is exactly why I have been saying this for a long time. It is not mainly about formations or systems, it is about the players showing up, taking responsibility, and fighting properly for the badge on the pitch. If you actually watched this game closely, you will understand exactly what I mean. Before we even started playing any good football, we had to concede first. And that is the same story we have been seeing again and again. The same thing that many fans blamed Amorim for happened again today, which is the players switching off after taking the lead. Many times, instead of holding the players accountable for their own mistakes, we have pushed all the blame onto the coach. This is a pattern. We score, we take the lead, and somehow we still find a way to concede. That does not magically change because you switch from a back three to a back four. I honestly believe a big part of this problem is our midfield. Whenever the opposition decides to come out and actually play against us, we struggle, and we often concede. You could see it clearly in this game. When the match started, we were not playing anything meaningful at all. Burnley came out aggressively, they played with confidence, and they got their goal from a deflection. Once they scored and went into their shell to protect the lead, that was when we finally got into the game, started moving the ball better, and we scored 2 goals. But the moment Burnley decided to step up again and take the game to us, we dropped back, lost control, and we conceded again. I saw some fans saying it was because we played a 4-2-3-1 that Sesko scored 2 goals, and honestly, I was completely marveled when I read that. I was shocked. Is this really how far the hatred or resentment towards Amorim has gone? What do you mean it was the change of formation that suddenly made Sesko score? That argument does not make sense at all. Sesko was given many clear chances during Amorim's time. He missed sitters, he missed crosses, he missed tap-ins, and we all saw it. He is a striker, for crying out loud. His primary job is to score goals. When a striker misses chances that are clearly created for him, how does that suddenly become a formation issue? Must we blame everything on formations? A striker misses a clear goal that was laid on a plate for him, and instead of holding the player accountable, we say it was the coach's formation that caused it. Are we really that sentimental as fans? The amount of agenda pushing right now is honestly too much. Everything is not about formations and tactics. Football is also about individual responsibility, decision-making, and execution on the pitch. At some point, players have to be judged for what they do with the chances they get. Now let's talk about the first goal we conceded in this game. If you watched it properly, you clearly saw Casemiro and Dalot standing still, ball watching. No urgency, no reaction. The opposition picked up the ball, drove forward, tried to put in a cross, and that sequence eventually led to the own goal. Now I want to ask a very simple question: is that a formation problem? Or is that a player problem? Because to me, it is clearly down to the players switching off. This same thing has happened so many times this season. Defenders and midfielders fall asleep for a few seconds, make basic mistakes, and we concede goals. Yet somehow, we always circle back to blaming the formation, which in reality means blaming the coach. When Amorim was here and we drew matches, even with so many key players unavailable, we pointed fingers straight at him. We said it was the formation, we said it was the system, we said he didn't know what he was doing. There was no patience, no context, no balance in the conversation. Now today we draw again, and I want to genuinely ask this question: what exactly was the cause of this draw? Someone should please tell me, because I really want to understand. Now I am also hearing people say, we created many chances, we'll take the draw. But hold on, wasn't this exactly the same thing that was happening under Amorim? We were creating chances, we were getting into good positions, and yet we were drawing games. And when that happened, everyone came for his head. There was no we played well, there was no we created chances, there was no patience. It was straight blame, straight criticism, straight attack on the coach. Now everyone is saying if Ahmad and Bruno were available, we would have won this game. But wasn't that the exact same argument we made days and weeks ago? We clearly said we were missing important players, that injuries were hurting us, that the squad was thin. Back then, many fans refused to accept that reality. They said injuries were excuses. Now suddenly, injuries and AFCON are a valid reason again. So what changed? Why is it acceptable now but wasn't acceptable then? Some people are also saying, if we took our chances, we would have won this game. Again, this is exactly what I kept saying during Amorim's time. We missed big chances, clear chances, and those missed chances cost us points. But back then, nobody wanted to hear that. It was never about missed chances, it was always about Amorim and his formation. Now today, the same thing happens. We miss chances, we drop points, and suddenly everyone agrees that missed chances cost us the game. Until we fix our midfield problems, until we fix the overall squad issues, we will never achieve great things consistently, and that is the hard truth. This responsibility has always belonged to the board, and it still does. They are the ones in charge of building a competitive squad, yet they deliberately chose not to sign a midfielder as a priority last summer, even when that was clearly Amorim's #1 target. Instead, they had other plans that have now left us exposed week after week. You cannot ignore the heart of the team and expect everything else to function properly. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. We have too many average players in this team, and nobody wants to say it out loud. Can someone genuinely tell me one decisive thing Dalot did in this game? Or what exactly Ugarte and Casemiro offered that changed the match? I'm not trying to single them out unfairly, but these are the questions we must ask if we are serious about moving forward. We clearly need better players, especially in midfield. I don't care who the coach is, I don't care what formation we play, the truth remains the same: we need midfielders, we need quality signings, and we lack the level required to dominate games consistently. You simply cannot rebuild Manchester United with this set of players and expect miracles. It is not about tactics or systems anymore. The quality just isn't there. Look at what happens when Bruno leaves the midfield. The moment he steps out, everything falls apart, and suddenly the whole team looks clueless. In the last game, Bruno wasn't there, Mainu wasn't there, Mount wasn't there, and we struggled badly. We drew that game, and the immediate reaction was to sack the coach. Not to question the squad. Not to question recruitment. Not to question the board. Just sack the coach. This is the cycle we keep repeating. We ignore the real problems, protect the people who should be held accountable, and sacrifice the coach instead. Until that changes, nothing will change.